Welcome to Beyond a Happy Marriage. I'm Arkadiusz.
And I'm Monika.
If you are striving for something deeper than just a happy marriage,
if you want a relationship that's truly transformative, that leads to intentional living,
then this podcast is for you.
We are absolutely delighted to bring our conversations to English-speaking couples around the world.
Coffee at midnight, chocolate in a car.
Our romantic evening. No candles, no restaurant, just a plastic cup of coffee and the two of us in the car.
Two grown adults sitting in a car, celebrating what exactly?
Well, we didn't win the lottery and we didn't get a promotion, or we haven't bought a car.
We simply managed to close a few matters that had been dragging on for months. Things related to our move, 2 flights to England, documents, stress.
And you know what? It was one of the best evenings in the past few weeks.
You're listening to More Than a Happy Marriage podcast. I'm Arkadiusz and this is my wife Monika.
A scientist who spent 10 years learning that some miracles are beyond the reach of science.
And today we will tell you about a tool that has protected marriages for centuries, about a prayer that lifted us from deepest valleys of our 18-year marriage.
And about why celebrating coffee at midnight might be more important than waiting for great triumphs.
This isn't just another pious episode about prayer. This is a story about survival, about struggle.
And about how an ordinary rosary can be a shield that protects your marriage.
Because yesterday was 7th October, the feast of Our Lady of the Rosary, a day that changed the history of Europe in 1571.
And a day that has been changing our marriage every year for 18 years.
Before I tell you our story, I need to take you on a journey to the year 1571, to a moment when Rosary prayer literally changed the course of history.
This is so important for our story. You'll understand why in a moment.
Turkish Sultan Selim II had a plan, a simple plan. Conquer all of the Europe, establish the Muslim faith, erase Christianity from the map of the continent. His fleet was enormous, powerful, experienced in battle. Christian Europe was divided, weak, indecisive.
Statistically, they had no chance.
But there was one man who didn't really rely on statistics. Pope Pius V, a Dominican, a fervent devotee of Mary. When he heard about the approaching war, he didn't convey a war council. He didn't seek the best strategists.
He fell to his knees and grasped a rosary.
Exactly, and he called all the Europe to Rosary prayer. Thousands of people, families, children, the elderly, everyone with a rosary in their hands. 7th of October, 1571. The Gulf of Corinth, the Battle of Lepanto.
The Christian fleet won. Completely. Totally.
In a way that no military strategist could explain.
I know how it sounds. Coincidence, luck, good tactics. That's how any scientist would think. That's how I thought for many years.
But Pope Pius V said words that every marriage should remember. No courage, no weapons, no commanders, but Our Lady of the Rosary gave us victory.
And today, we can say the same. Not our skills, not my scientific knowledge, not our strengths, but Our Lady of the Rosary.
The battle you're fighting in your marriage is no smaller. It may be about armies and fleets, but it's about survival, about love that refuses to surrender.
And just like then, the weapon doesn't lie in your communication skills, not in another marriage book.
The weapon lies in prayer, in the rosary you hold in your hand.
Even if you're a scientist who needed 10 years to understand this.
Our story with the rosary started from desperation.
10 years trying for a child, I as a scientist, endocrinologist. I knew exactly how wrong it was. PCOS. The statistics were brutal.
And that's when I started suggesting the Pompeii novena.
Arkadiusz, the novena won't change my hormone levels. I was skeptical, very skeptical.
But you started anyway.
Because science wasn't giving me hope, only numbers, only low chances. And I thought, what to do? I don't have anything to lose.
We even started the adoption process.
And then, miraculously, I fell pregnant. After 10 years of trying. But not the courage, not science, not our plans, but Our Lady of the Rosary. She helped us.
Yesterday, 7th October, the feast of Our Lady of the Rosary, the day was strange.
Full of difficulties, everything was getting complicated, plans were changing. We felt tired, frustrated.
But in the evening, when we finally managed to close everything, we went to the airport. Sushi, coffee, chocolate at midnight in a car.
Our romantic dates look different than 18 years ago.
Well, most couples wait for the summit to celebrate, for the big moment, promotion, house, birth for her child.
And that makes sense. Big moments are important.
But there are few summits and valleys. There are many valleys.
And if you don't learn to celebrate along the way, you burn out before you reach the top.
Think about a mountain climbing, Mount Everest. You climb for a week, 2, a month. Most of the time you don't see the summit. There's a fog, snow, exhaustion.
If you only think about the summit the whole time, you'll go mad.
Real climbers celebrate every camp, every 100 meters, every meal, every night they survive.
That's not weakness. That's a survival strategy.
The same with marriage. There'll be a promotion at work, that's a summit. But there'll also be a 200 days of ordinary hard work, as a valley.
There'll be the birth of a child, a summit, but there'll also be 1,000 sleepless nights, a valley.
There'll be buying a house summit, but 20 years of paying a mortgage valley.
And we learned this during those 10 years of waiting. If we'd only waited for the positive test, we would have burned out by 5 years.
That's why we celebrated every small step.
Every test was promising. Those small celebrations, they helped us.
This is what I want you to understand. Small celebrations aren't about events. They are about being together in difficult moments.
About saying, I see you, I appreciate you. We're in this together.
Tea, coffee, chocolate in the car, 5 minutes without children.
That's the glue of marriage.
On Saturday, we were at the Living Rosary pilgrimage in Rokitno. We have belonged to rosary circles for years.
Small prayer groups that pray one mystery of the rosary every day. And the priest leading said something that struck me. That there are various rosary groups. The Margaret Apostolate, parents praying for children, but there isn't a group of spouses praying for spouses.
And a beautiful metaphor appeared, a bonfire. Imagine a blazing bonfire In it are large logs, strong, intensely burning. They give much warmth, much light. But there are also small twigs, damp, weak, barely smoldering on their own. They'll go out.
But in the bonfire, in the group, they keep burning, because the large logs warm them, sustain them, don't let them go out.
And that's how the prayer works in a group. And we need to say something important here. What we are sharing with you today is our perspective as Catholics. We understand that not all listeners may be in the same spiritual place.
And that's all right. We also know that there are some marriages where only one person prays. Perhaps you're listening to this and your spouse isn't a practicing Catholic.
Or doesn't believe at all. And it might seem that then the Rosary makes no sense.
But we know from the experience of other marriages and from church's teaching that one person's prayer for another bears fruit. Perhaps not immediately, perhaps differently than you expect, but it bears fruit.
Because the bonfire isn't just a marriage. The bonfire is the whole praying community. And you, as that one burning person in the marriage, you're not alone.
There are days when my prayer burns brightly. I feel God, I feel hope, I feel strength. But there are also days when I barely smolder.
Me too. There are days when the Rosary is just a habit, not a conversation. When the words are empty.
And then you need the group because others lift you. Their prayers sustain your small ember.
And the former can lift the latter through prayer.
Not through advice, not through, we had that too. Simply through quiet, persistent rosary prayer for another marriage.
If you feel your marriage needs prayer or that you can pray for other couples, write in the comments. We will create this group.
Because the bonfire burns strongest when all parts support each other.
Right. Concretely, what can you do today?
There are 3 things, simple and tested.
First, draw your spouse.
Sounds childish, but it really works. Take a piece of paper, draw a simple stick figure,
And write on it their characteristics, all of them. Good and difficult.
On one arm, you can write down patient, funny, hardworking. On the other, stubborn, late, forgets things.
Why do you do this?
Because in a crisis, you only see the bad characteristics. You think your spouse is only those irritating things. But that's not true. Your spouse is a whole.
And when you look at the drawn figure, you remember the whole, good and bad. That restores perspective.
Second thing, celebrate small things. Every evening, ask, what did we manage to achieve today?
Perhaps a conversation without an argument, perhaps 1 point from the list, perhaps an hour together without phones.
And celebrate. Coffee, chocolate, 5 minutes on the sofa, holding hands.
Third thing, rosary for your spouse. Not for your marriage, for him, her.
1 mystery a day. For his, her heart. For his or her struggle. Or weakness. And strengths.
And here's an important thing. This tool works even if your spouse doesn't pray with you. Even if she doesn't believe at all.
Because prayer for another person has power. You don't need to pray together for this prayer to work. Sometimes you're the one holding the candle in the darkness for both of them. For both of you.
And if you can't pray?
Find a group, a rosary circle, a community. Let others lift you. That's not shame, that's wisdom.
Right. We are reaching to the end, Monika. What should we say for closing?
That you're not alone, that your struggles don't disqualify your marriage, that difficult seasons are part of the journey, not the end of the journey.
And that Mary truly listens, truly helps?
Yes, even if you're a scientist who needed 10 years to understand this.
If this episode moved you, do 3 things. First, go back to previous episodes. This is building. Episode by episode will give you tools. Listen and apply.
You can visit our blog, notprofam.com, for additional articles and tips.
And first, most important, comment. Tell us what worked. What are you struggling with?
We read every comment, every single one, and your stories shape what we create.
Draw the figure, buy coffee at midnight, pray one rosary, and see what changes.
Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for giving your marriage something more.
Until next time.
Bye.